What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we need to talk to you about Faraday Future. They just put out their 10Q. I want to go over what it's truly saying and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So today was more of a brutal day. It did go down 12.32% even after hours because of their 10Q. It is down an additional 1.43%. As I mentioned, once it was breaking below that 24-cent mark, it was kind of going to trade between that and that 15-cent mark. So I think this was kind of the writing on the wall. But in general, a lot of fear in the market, more specifically to Faraday, because there's so much grayness. And so I want to go over some of the grayness and everything else. So starting off, today is a very important day because today was the day that Faraday had to let investors know that they were going to do a reverse stock split, and because they needed to give in shareholders 2 business days. So essentially that would be Thursday and Friday. Since there was no news on the reverse stock split, that it's fair to assume that they are not going to be doing a reverse stock split effective the 19th, meaning it's going to be less than 10 days. So I get it. Initially, when they didn't do it on August the 5th, they must have a plan. Now they didn't do it for the 12th. People keep saying they must have a plan. I wonder at what stage people are going to be like, they fucked up big time. And so essentially, they are really dropping the ball. And based on this 10Q that did come out, I think people are kind of seeing it for what it is. So I want to go over this. So this is up until the end of June 23rd, 2024. They did submit this on the 30th, July 30th. So this is up until March 31st, 2024. You can kind of see some differences. So their cash went from 407,000 to 793,000. Yet not really generating sufficient amount of revenue to offset that. So logically, they did issue more notes. And this is why when I was analyzing this information, so the Q1 right over here, they definitely did issue quite a lot of notes. And this is very damaging to Faraday's just future. I've brought this up time and time again, but you can kind of see based on their Q1, how much they lost from operations was right here. And so essentially they were dormant, especially if you compare the Q1 from any time in 2023, they kind of gave up. And that is very resemblant as well based on their Q2. So you can kind of see loss from operations a little bit higher than previous, but in general, they gave up. They completely just gave up everything. So earnings per share right here, 31 cents. A lot of people somehow were posting over the last couple of days that earnings per share was positive. I don't know what kind of crack people are smoking, but that definitely is not accurate whatsoever. But one important thing to note is right here, how many shares that they had outstanding, because this is new information. So they had, as of the end of June, 441 million in outstanding shares. And this is why I said this was do or die for their shareholder meeting, both the reverse stock split for compliance purposes and the raising of the authorized shares, because Faraday, they need to dilute, plain as day. If you guys think otherwise, I don't know, again, why you guys are investing, because Faraday is very 100% reliant on dilution right now. And they were very close to being capped out. So they needed to raise the authorized share count. And so again, it kind of goes to show that they were diluting quite significantly, as you can kind of see right over here. Sorry, I scrolled up a little bit too fast. So right here, you do see as of the end of March, they had 159 million. So it goes to show that they diluted roughly about 300 million, just shy of that, just in 3 months. So once again, Faraday is going down a little bit more of a death spiral. A lot of people are hanging on to the hope that this is going to be a short squeeze. But in my opinion, a short squeeze is just a temporary patch. If you do believe in that, you need to, if Faraday is going to survive, they need to really get their shit together, because their operations is pure crap. And the fact that they didn't, based on this new earnings in Q2, they don't elaborate on when the reverse stock split is going to occur. No indication of any UAE or bridging. So it kind of looks like they, once again, were just dangling the carrot. And this is where you do get mass panic on selling off. And a lot of people, once again, I like to bring up and kind of squash the misinformation. A lot of people were posting on Reddit, once again, the fact that I believe it was BlackRock, they did increase their massive position. You have to take this with a grain of salt because, for one, this did occur in Q2. It's all like 13F, so if you're going to say something, you gotta be 100% accurate. So this all did occur during Q2. And point number 2 is that technically they, in my opinion, are one of the big culprits in the broader market that buy distressed stocks for the purposes of lending out shares. So they themselves might not be the ones that is physically shorting, but they do it for that purpose. It's very profitable. If you kind of look at their what they're all about, they are open to it. They lend out shares for, and it's very profitable for them. So once again, don't jump up in joy for Faraday to be bought by BlackRock, because again, they are probably why they do have this right here. So number of available shares in excess of 10 million. So right now, or I guess today, shorts did return 142,000 shares. 11.18% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 48.88 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 11.37, and then utilization 92.37 or 23. I don't know where I got 37 from, but ultimately, shorts, once again, were returning. So you see a lot of people saying that it's still a laddered attack. That's not necessarily the case. And so when it comes to their earnings, just a couple of things you wanted to watch for is the outstanding shares, how much cash they did have, and how much they're burning through. Everything else on here, even their risks, they refer back to their Q1. So there's no real new information on this document right here, other than, like I said, those 3 criteria, because the market wants to know that Faraday is doing things accordingly, and it looks like they were tapped out massively based on just how much they had room left. But at the same time, comparing Q1 to Q2, it goes to show how really, especially like I mentioned, their operations has been dormant since Q1 as well as Q2, how much they are really just fucking diluting through the craziness. And just for transparency purposes, some people say that I had a weird comment recently saying that I'm bipolar. Fucking crazy if you ask me. But on this channel, I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. If there is some positives that could spin Faraday around, I like to bring that up. This is why I do say that Faraday needs something concrete that institutions can really buy based on that. So you need some definitive agreement from the UAE or something. So I say things along those lines. Does not mean I'm saying, hey, go out and buy Faraday because of that. I've never told you guys to buy, to sell. I really don't give 2 shits what you guys do. I'm just reading the data and kind of, in my opinion, calling Faraday out because I've not been bullish on their management. If anything, I actually think that they lie quite a lot. And I'm very surprised that there hasn't been a lawsuit, or again, there might have been lawsuits. They've just been probably paid under the table to kind of quash it. But yeah, definitely Faraday management. They are hands down the reason why Faraday is going down. And on a side note, I did want to bring up one thing. So a lot of people is like, well, 𝗪𝗧𝗪 is in the UAE, like there has to be some deal coming forward. The only thing I have to bring up, so once again, they're burning through quite a lot of cash. That's again being dormant. Look at their market cap, 84.55 million. So you're telling me that a UAE entity is going to come and put, let's say, 400 mil or something along those lines on Faraday's balance sheet, when essentially their market cap is less than that. Let me just tell you how things work in the business side. The UAE and just bigger entities out there, yeah, they might try to see what's best for themselves, but they're not charitable. They don't want to be like, hey, I really like you, Faraday. I'm going to give you pretty much free money, even though you're worth less than what I'm going to give you. It doesn't work like that. In reality, they would rather have Faraday go to bankruptcy and buy them 10 cents on the dollar. Even though market cap right now is 84 mil, maybe in 2 weeks, it'll be 15 mil. Well, guess what? The UAE could just step in and be like, hey, I'm going to buy it all at 15 mil, or potentially just wait till 5 mil. So this is why I've done a video in the past saying that I do not feel the UAE entity and that whole scenario is going to play out. So that's just my own opinion. Of course, I'm not here to spread FUD. I've been kind of saying this same situation for roughly 2 years, as I've very clearly mentioned to you guys. And funny enough, when they actually just had the shareholder meeting for the second reverse stock split that did occur on March the 1st, you can go back to my videos. I was saying, you know what, they're going to need a third one. And guess what? They did. Because I said that this 1-for-3 was not going to suffice, and that easily, because of the notes, it was going to easily bring it down. So it is just a very damaged stock, and something does need to change, whether they take the hit and pivot their business, which again would be very costly up front, but long term it should be very beneficial. But yeah, they need to really cut that shit out about the notes, because that is just damaging Faraday so much more. And I keep refreshing just to see about the whole reverse stock split, because if nothing is submitted today, then you are going to once again have like less than 10 days. So I don't think Faraday is smarter than the NASDAQ. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see ultimately. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Do you guys agree with my viewpoints, or is there anything that you feel I am inaccurate about? So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and let me know your thoughts. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.